Hello. So this is my millionth time trying to do like an intro sort of thing because I don't know how to do this. Um, but I'm an intuitive tarot reader, so I have tarot cards with me and I will be reading tarot cards. So if you're not interested in that, don't watch this. And also this is an inclusive space. That being said, don't come in here and start saying things that aren't okay. Keep that in mind. Um, and I'm sure use your own decisive judgment on that. I'm sure you can figure it out. And if somebody gets mad at you for something, then depending on what it is, depending on the conversation, figure it out from there. Um, and also, if anybody does say anything awful, I will be monitoring that. Um, and I have wow. Okay, I'm pulling cards here. First of all, everything's coming up in reverse, which is because that's literally how I picked up the deck. Okay. Which is giving, oh, except not everything. Okay. This is from, I'm getting two perspectives here. So there's the perspective, obviously, of me as the reader, where everything is coming upside down, right? And that gives me the perspective of the person I'm talking to. So whoever I'm talking to right now, I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna read into the cards as much as I can, but just everything is upside down except for the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups is walking away, and everything else. Oh, actually, no. There's one other card here that's not reversed, and it's the Hermit, which is literally like self-reflection and isolation. So it's interesting because you're coming through with the Eight of Cups and the Hermit, which I'm going to read first because those are the ones that are upright. And again, those are like, that's a very like, I'm distancing myself from whatever has hurt me and I'm reflecting on it. I'm learning from it. Like that's the type of energy that gives, but it's very confusing because this Hermit, like, he's looking at everything, and I get this as the energy of the person I'm reading for, which again, I don't know who that is at this point. But this Hermit is looking at everything, but he's looking at everything upside down except for the Eight of Cups, which feels like the only thing that you've seen truly about a situation or something is that someone left, which, given everything else that's here, I feel like there's a lot more to the story, and I feel like maybe like not to call people out, but from this energy and even just baseline, like this energy, it feels really like maybe we have to really look at a bigger picture of what happened to understand where everyone in the situation is coming from. And that goes both ways, right? But because it goes both ways, if one individual isn't willing to see it, it makes it hard for everyone else involved, right? Because yeah, yeah, because if you're not being honest and seeing things for how they truly are, if you can't see the image, how are other people supposed to also see the image, right? And how are they supposed to express their side of the perspective if the perspectives are so skewed? And that leads to sort of this question of what's making it skewed, right? And all of these cards here, like, these feel like, and I'm gonna have to, like, genuinely, the reason why I'm reading it this way is because I'm gonna have to pick up all the cards and flip them upside down so I can read this, because there's too many cards upside down. And that's why I'm getting this, like, messy perspective shift that's like happening. Is this person just, they've seen it one way and all they can like it's like everything else is illusioned to this person. And I think the question is why. And I can go into the situation more just to help give an idea for, I don't know, whoever this is for. But really, like, I'm seeing like there's a shift of perspective that needs to happen, and through that, like, and I'll pull cards at the end to sort of get like, you know, what happens with the shift in perspective, what happens if the shift in perspective doesn't happen, and also I'll make sure that it is a shift in perspective. Obviously, as I go, there will be clarity here. But yeah, that's just my overall like looking at it. And I only pull from one deck. I normally pull from multiple decks to get a message, because I like to clarify things with different types of energies, because I have like animal decks, which will give me like an animal representation for the different energies, which I can really use sometimes. But yeah, so I'm gonna move the Hermit and the Eight of Cups away. Actually, no, we're just gonna set those to the side, and then I'm gonna pick everything else up and I have hair in my mouth. I'm gonna look at them all, but right side up. Okay. Yeah, okay. So the first thing I'm noticing is there is a tower here, and the tower, I mean, I saw the tower, obviously, it was in reverse. And I didn't want to read it until I addressed why I thought everything was in reverse. This tower, to me, though, it's coming out with the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is this lady, and she is trapped. She is both blindfolded and physically bound, and she is trapped inside a bunch of swords that are like surrounding her in basically a cage. Obviously, if she wasn't bound and she didn't have those blindfolds, maybe she could get out of the swords, but as it is, that's not the case. This card, the representation of it is being physically trapped, but also being like not just physically trapped in your environment, but physically trapped by what you can do and what you can perceive. So to me, this tower, especially coming through with this card, like, it really feels like there was somebody trapped. And this tower moment happened, I would assume, as something to do with that entrapment feeling that someone had. I would say that, and like those two cards are very clear. So the fact that like I didn't even want to read them upside down, again, it feels like this is stuff that, it's not even stuff maybe that isn't made aware, like made aware. That's not how to put it. Okay, just to be blunt, it feels like stuff that maybe you know, but you just don't want to admit. And I feel like that's like a hard call out, and I don't mean to do that, holy shit, but I don't even like know where I'd be calling out other than like whatever this situation is, whoever I'm reading for, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and coming out, yeah, so the tower coming out to clarify that is the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is hope. Two of Wands is look like this guy, he has the world in his hands, he's looking at it. And that's coming through, leading to the Wheel of Fortune, which is change and possibilities. So I get the vibe of, here, clarify the Two of, yeah, okay. So coming through is the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Five of Cups in reverse. Again, I'm getting I keep picking my deck up upside down, but I'm still getting the vibes of just this is what isn't being admitted. Like, we saw that this, like, this person was being trapped. We saw that this person was stuck or was grieving with the Five, and we ignored it. And yeah, and the Seven of Pentacles, that's like hard work. That's putting in like hard work and effort and trying to build something. It's not yet done, but it's in process. So that with the grief, like, it really makes me think that whatever process this was interrupted, or like this person had to leave it behind. They couldn't keep up the work, and they grieved over that. And again, like with everything coming up in reverse, like I feel like it's just something that we're ignoring, that there was this effort or grief on another person's part. That being said, other cards that are coming through is Six of yeah, there's a stack here, which starts with the Six of Pentacles, goes to the Three of Cups, which is, I love this card. It's like a sisterhood to me. And then the Seven of Cups, options, and then Ten of Wands, which is, it's hard work, it's closing a cycle, but the way he carries the sticks, right? It's so inefficient. He's doing the work, but he's not doing it the most efficient way he could. And then after that, it's coming through with justice. So that is your typically, in this case, in this case, I would say, like, especially with being from my main deck, it's very much like you're like morally correct thing. It's like, it's not coming from a certain person's perspective. It's not justice from a perspective, it's justice. It is like karmic justice. So, and that's, yeah. And I have a line here that literally, like, is like giving me a story. And that story, there's a King of Swords here. And there's, so, King of Swords. This is your intellectual, like, it's your logic masculine, is how it typically reads. And that's also being mirrored by the Ace of Wands. So for this person, like, I'm getting someone who's very logical and very, like, passion oriented, very creative, very passion. Like, they see something shiny and they go, ooh, it's shiny, I want it. And they go and they try and get it. Like, it's giving, like, I see what I like, I know what I like, I want that, thank you, and I'm gonna get it. And that's the type of energy it gives. That's coming through with Six of Cups, which is a much gentler energy. But the Six of Cups is being immediately followed by the Death card. And Six of Cups, that's like, often it can be reconciliation, but it can also be like childhood. It can represent a lot of things from, like, from childhood wounds and like things from your childhood that brought hope or brought fear, and it can represent sort of both in that duality. And with the Death card, I'm gonna clarify the Six of Cups actually while I'm here. Yeah, that's funny. The Six of Cups is coming through with the Nine of Swords. which the Nine of Swords, that's your overthinking. You're lying in bed, you're depressed, your hands over your head, and you're thinking, and you're trying to be like, what did I do wrong? Like, how did I get here? This to me, this Six of Cups with this gives heavy, there was a wound here, there was some kind of option for forgiveness, there was some kind of chance, but it wasn't taken. Something didn't happen, and it came from this, yeah, I think if this forgiveness had come through for whatever reason, I feel like it would have been deep childhood trauma healing type thing. I feel like it would have been the closing of some kind of childhood wound cycle. Yeah, and why didn't this? What happened to this forgiveness? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, coming through as to why this didn't happen. First of all, Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is typically your universal movement. It's things happening in the universe fast, and it's things happening outside of anybody's control. It's in reverse. So this makes me think that somehow part of this was almost universal. These pieces had to be moved apart. And that's coming through, yeah, with the Nine of Pentacles, which is this lovely lady, and she is beautifully independent. She has a bird watching out for her, which is sort of spiritual guidance. And I'm gonna be so honest, this card to me is the polar opposite of this card. So yeah. And then coming through with that is hard work with the Seven of Wands, Seven of Wands. Two of Swords, which this is a card entirely about a decision. And this to me just tells me that somewhere along the line someone made a decision, which, strangely enough, it's coming through with the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Swords in reverse. The Knight of Pentacles in this deck, he's standing still, he's offering it. I don't know, I get the feeling that whatever offer was made, it was very, it feels like it wasn't given to the person. It was made, and the offer's there, but the person that it was made to doesn't even know. They don't even know that there's an offer there. Yeah, and whoa. Okay. And the other card was the Page of Swords. Page of Swords, which came out in reverse. And Page of Swords is typically wariness and thinking about something and being debating and mentally unsure of something. So that coming in reverse, I really feel whoever this is, they just don't even know that they were given an option to and I feel yeah, even with, because she's blindfolded, right? She's making this decision and she's blindfolded. It's she didn't, whoever this is, they didn't even see the options. They weren't given clear enough, they weren't shown whatever options it is that they were supposed to see. And I feel whoever I'm reading for, you gave this person an option, but you didn't really specify what those options meant, or really or really even like gave the offer. Like it feels more just like you were like, oh yeah, like it's here, you can take it if you want it, but you didn't even really say you can take it if you want it. It was more, I have this, and then the person went, okay, that's nice, you have that, cool, and then like went the other way, like you were just like, I have this thing, and the person went by and went, that's cool, I'm gonna keep trying to go do other stuff because what does that have to do with me? So, not to like, I feel like whoever I'm reading for, this feels very call outy, and I don't even mean to do that, but it feels like, again, like back to the beginning, it feels like you're just not seeing half of the story, and it feels like it's very like I'm thinking of like a horse with like the blinds on it, and it's like running a race, and it's doing that on purpose so that it like stays focused, but at this point, like it's like it feels like you are focused on the situation, so this like blindfold that you've put on to help you run the race is just impeding now. um yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna get into some of the other things that I said, but like really with the situation, like the Wheel of Fortune, the giving, the sisterhood, like, and then all of this like options and doing things like hard work but doing it wrong, and like it really feels like the situation's just, again, because all of this would have been in reverse. Yeah, it feels like the situation has been very messy because people haven't been very forthcoming in anything, like in any way. So I don't know. That being said, I'm gonna honestly try and get advice for like like I said with that horse visor, like where to focus on maybe, because I don't want to like sit here and call somebody out by accident. Even fuck, I don't even know if this will land for anybody, but like I don't want to sit here and call somebody and then like not give them like some solid like help or advice, I guess. So if I could have like, where do we focus? Like what's the deal? How do we okay. Okay. So the first thing that came out was the Six of Swords. Okay, we're just gonna we're just gonna set these to the side for now and just read what I was reading because I don't want to get into that yet. Um, so Six of Swords, right? Six of Swords. Six of Swords is aid. It's refuge. It's helping. And I'm getting with that the Five of Swords. Five of Swords, like it's picking up after a fight. It's moving on. It's giving me energy of just like, I'm gonna ask more about the help, but it is giving like there. It's giving you need to ask for help to move on. And that's really, really interesting because I don't think people like to admit when they can't move on from a situation. That being said, it's really giving you need help moving on. Because we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So that gives me like I feel like, again, like I was getting masculine for the person I'm reading for and female for the other person. Again, gender's irrelevant, really and truly. Take what resonates, but it's the Queen of Cups in reverse and then the King of Cups. So that just gives me like, focus on yourself. Don't focus on what this Queen of Cups is doing. This Queen of Cups, I'm like, honestly, like, yeah, this Queen of Cups is not, she's grounded. She's over here just vibing. She's not, she, I don't think this Queen of Cups has any emotional bearing on your life right now, or should. or at the very least should not have any emotional bearing. That being said, the world is coming out, which is closing and ending of cycles, but also, yeah, okay, yeah, the world, and then the Two of Pentacles in reverse, which Two of Pentacles is this guy, he's balanced, and then he's in reverse. The thing is, I don't actually love this card, because he's looking at them and he's so worried, and he has this like figure 8 on them, and it's like, why do we have the figure 8 on them? Like, that's just making it harder for you to balance them. Like, I've never, like, I get what the picture's meant to represent, but I don't, you know, like, I don't get that vibe. So that in reverse and him not being able to balance, it feels like, yeah, I'm gonna get more clarification, but it feels like there's something out of balance, obviously, with the lack of balance, but it has something to do with that world card, but I don't know what that world card. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. So, clarifying the world card, we have Ace of Wands, creativity, and passion, and then we have Six of Cups, forgiveness. We have the Five of Cups, the grief. We have Ten of Cups, which is like poor, but like we're happy. And then we have Knight of Cups in reverse, Ace of Swords, and then the Empress. Okay. Ooh, that's a lot for that. Okay. So, yeah, with this world, for one, I do think because the Ace of Sword came through with the Empress. So I do feel like at some point, the truth will be encountered. And I say encountered because, you know, I've been talking about a perception change, which, I mean, if the person that this reading is meant for chooses to have that perspective shift, then they can. But if they don't, I do feel either way that the Empress, which again, like I'm feeling is this other person, is going to come through with the truth and just be very, very blunt about their sort of side of the situation. And yeah, so the Knight of Cups in reverse, it really makes me think that you're being called right now to very like conserve your emotional energy type of thing. So like the Knight of Cups goes into the fight. So all of the knights go into the fight or go into the fray or whatever in a specific way. The Knight of Cups, he goes in with a cup. Makes sense, Knight of Cups. He goes in with his cup full and he shows the other people his emotion, he shows them his depth, and he lets it reflect back to them what they need. That coming out in reverse gives me this energy of like not being open about how you actually feel in a situation. But that to me isn't like, because we're coming through with the Ace of Wands, the Six of Cups, the Five of Cups, and the Ten of Cups, that to me highlights like really using creativity to heal like this child pain and this grief I'm getting like grief over what could have been good. Like, I feel like in the situation, you're just grieving the fact that you know that things could have worked out if things had been differently, like had been done differently. It almost, yeah, and with the Knight of Cups coming in reverse, it feels like, don't, if you've been thinking about reaching out to this person, I wouldn't. That being said, actually, no, maybe not that I wouldn't, I just wouldn't go with full emotion, maybe. I would say maybe be a little bit more reserved in that, because I don't think this other person is going to be very receptive. It doesn't seem like their energy that they give is very like, they're not, they come out very independently and very off by themselves. Um, that being said, like, situations, like, not all doom and gloom. I haven't touched on this because I wanted to get through all the doom and gloom first. We have the Six of Wands, which, this is celebration, this is victory, but I will admit, like, it's after this rebalancing, because this comes through and there's time before this, but I do think it's there. It's just, I don't know, learning to move on from whatever's happening here. And I'm gonna, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. So the way that this came out for the Six of Wands is, I'm gonna clear the rest of my spread here. I don't need most of the other cards here. What came out is first of all, the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, and it's not in reverse, by the way. We're out of the reverses. Ace of Cups, it's the cup that never runs out. It's genuine emotional fulfillment, is what it's meant to represent. That's coming through with the Nine of Cups, which is, that's solitude fulfillment. That's like independent fulfillment. And then the Three of Cups, which this again to me represents sisterhood, but is very much a like friendship energy. It is your like, these are my friends, and like, we're at the harvest and we have wine and we're celebrating. Like, that's the energy. And then after that is Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is the polar opposite of that Queen of Cups energy, like that Queen of Cups in reverse. Specifically that Queen of Cups in reverse energy. I want to get, yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this Queen of Wands is somehow the same person. But I'm not getting like, so what came through for them, and the reason why I'm saying that is because the Judgment came through with justice. So this gives me the idea of that, yeah, it really gives me the idea of like, this person's looking at the situation that we've been talking about and has, like, judgment and justice has been there. And then also the reason why I do think it might be the same person is because when asking for a little bit more clarification, obviously, came out the Nine of Swords or Eight of Swords, which is how that energy showed up originally, and the Hierophant being structural. But The Hierophant being here is a little bit interesting, especially because you have literally like Judgment, Justice, the Hierophant. Those are all like very like legal cards. Not to say legal, but like they give like judgment, like it's a judge. Justice, it's a judge, and then the Hierophant is like he's like the Pope judge guy. I don't know. It's giving. I don't know, but it's like it's giving all of this from this situation that they were in. So it gives like whoever this is coming from like a very, very, I don't even know. I'm at the point where I'm lost because I don't know why the Hierophant's here. Actually, that's what's throwing me. Why? Why? Oh no, that's too many. I don't want that many. Why the Hierophant? Why the Hierophant? Okay. Holy shit, what? Okay. So, this Queen of Wands is coming through with Judgment and Justice. The Hierophant came out with the Eight of Swords, but the Eight of Swords is coming out with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So that's literally like this is that energy that like this person was like going through. And what does that have to do with the Hierophant? What does that have to do with swords? Eight of Swords. I can never remember what sword that is. Eight of Swords. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm getting like something something about this Hierophant is trying to trap this person again. Like I don't know. Like it's trying to take away that independence from this person again. Which is so interesting. Cause you have like these are all decent cards and I can't for the life of me understand like yeah, cause no, I honestly don't know with the ending of this. I feel like oh, okay, the Hierophant, right? He is your religious figurehead. That's his That's a really funny message if that's what that is. So, tangent, low key tangent. The Hierophant. So, the Hierophant can occasionally sometimes represent like marriages and stuff, especially if like the Four of Wands comes out. Four of Wands not here. I'm not seeing a marriage, obviously. I would like to make that clear. No marriage here. However, the reason I bring up marriage is because the sole purpose of marriage originally was to pass a daughter from her father to the husband as property. And the whole point was literally to like take like a trapped person, take someone who's literally trapped in their like family unit, and then send them off and give them perceived freedom, but it's just another enchantment through that stuff. So but and if anybody wants to argue, like, that's genuinely what marriage originally, like, that's what it was. And like the whole like surnames and the fact that a woman's prefix is entirely based off of her connection to a man. That's I just look at it. I don't know, man. Just look at it. It's very obvious. But like, I'm getting like a judgment call because I feel like with this magician, like, you're just like low-key trying to manifest that this person like comes back, even though like the situation was very trapping for them. And I feel like, I feel like there has to be a judgment call on this, because I feel like without that, because yeah, I'm sort of getting like this person comes back as a friend. Like, I don't know if, oh god, oh god, I might have connected the dots as to who this. I don't want to be here anymore. Anyways, continuing, ignoring that. Holy shit. Um, fuck, no, I can't even, bro. I'm gonna cry. So